EAMONN HOLMES, folks. Don't know if you've seen him earlier. He was on TV earlier. I think he was on, was it STEPH'S packed lunch? I think it was. Yeah, he's been saying there how bad he is at the moment. We know his health has been bad. I think he's in a wheelchair more often than he's not at the moment. He said the most he can do is about 20 steps. He gets helped into his chair at GB News and helped back into a wheelchair. He said he's in an awful state. Something to do with two very, very dodgy discs. I think they might be collapsed discs. I think he said. I may be wrong. He's trying to have it addressed and he's hoping things will get better and he'll start walking again. But at the moment, it doesn't look good. I thought as I watched him there on the sofa, I thought, by God, Eamon, you've banged on a bit of timber, haven't you? Now, that's not me knocking him at all. You know, I'm kind of a few pounds myself. I've said it in the past. But I thought, Eamon, you've put a bit of weight on there. No wonder you're not well. You're not well to start with. You'll struggle to get on your feet carrying all that around with you. I would imagine to get back on your feet, losing weight will probably help a little bit. But I do understand where he'll be coming from. Let's face it, he's not on his feet at all. He's not getting about like he used to, so he'll be in the house a lot more. It's easy to graze while you're in the house. And I would imagine the fact that his health is so bad and that he's not walking, he'll be slightly, or more than slightly, down and probably a little bit depressed. And it's very, very easy to find your way to the biscuit barrel when you're depressed. So I'm not knocking him. I felt sorry for him. But I thought it was a nice little interview we did there. I've not really heard from him much other than reporting on news, and I thought it was nice to see him again. They tried to ask him, as they always do, about GB News. She said, whilst you're here, what about GB News? But obviously they've come in for a lot of criticism lately. What with the Dan WOOTON.LAWRENCE Fox thing, what are your thoughts on that? He said, I'll tell you now. He said, I get in at 5 every morning and I work till 10. I'm there 5 till 10. He said, we do a morning breakfast show. It's about the news. He said, me and my partner, he said, we're journalists and we say as it is. We've got no complaints against us whatsoever. He said, what happens in the rest of the day on the shows is nothing to do with me. He said, they've got various commentators on there, not journalists. Commentators was the phrase he used. And what they get up to is down to themselves. He said, but we do the job properly on our show. And as I say, no complaints. Nobody's complaining about what we're doing. He said, so as far as I'm concerned, I'm happy the way things are going there. And I don't get involved in what other people do. Which I thought, well, she threw you the old ball, Eamon, and you batted it back well, so no problem on that score. He also told a nice little story about Noddy Oldie. You may have heard it. He's recently been to Charlie Lawson's wedding. Charlie's got married recently. I say Charlie Lawson. You'll know him as Jim McDonald. Me and Eamon call him Charlie. So yeah, he's recently been to Charlie Lawson's wedding there, and he got introduced to Noddy Holder, who's one of the guests, and he said Noddy was great. He said he helped me around, he helped me get back into to the toilet, he ended up putting me in the taxi on the way home. He said he was great, a lovely fella, which was nice to hear. Yeah, and that was about it. He didn't have a hell of a lot more to say, but it was pretty insightful and it was pretty nice, and he seemed in reasonably good spirits, but I'm sure he's not. I'm sure he wants to be back on his feet, and let's hope he gets there soon. Let's hope the medication or whatever, procedures he's having done, let's hope they get him back on his feet, 'cause it can't be nice in a wheelchair most of the time, when only a couple of years ago there was nothing wrong with him. Anyway, let's hope.